Welcome back to the Tahoe Kids Show. I'm your host, Zoe Laughlin. I'm here today with Rita from the U.S. Forest Service. How's it going, Rita?
Hi, good. Glad to be here.
So I have some few questions if it's okay with you.
Sure.
What are bark beetles?
A certain type of insect that likes to lay their eggs inside of pine trees.
Do they only lay their eggs in pine trees?
Certain types of bark beetles go after different types of trees. So some will go into fir trees and some will go into pine trees.
So how do they affect the forest?
Well, they're actually not something bad in the forest. They're actually part of the whole ecosystem. In normal amounts, they actually create food for wildlife and habitat if the trees die and fall on the ground. So actually, insects are an important part of a healthy forest when they're in their normal amounts that occur in an area. They can be a big problem when too many of them just start overtaking an area. And that's what the Forest Service is seeing a lot more of right now. It's becoming increasing amounts of dead trees because of the bark beetle.
So I'm walking around my house and I see stripes on trees. What does that mean?
So Forest Service and other agencies have to be out looking around at the trees and looking to see if they're dying or just in other reasons for wanting to cut trees down or to keep trees. So we use paint on trees. Blue is usually one of our colors. That means we're going to cut the tree down.
How do we tell if there are bark beetles in a tree?
So usually different types of bark beetles leave different, what we call signs or symptoms really, on the tree that shows that the bark beetle's there. And one of the primary things is a hole where they've actually gone into the tree, or drill into the tree. And birds actually, you can even see holes where the birds have pecked in there because they're eating those beetles. But the tree will use the water resources that it has to, create that syrup, the pitch. And it uses that to try to push the beetle back out. And so you'll see on trees little hole areas that are like holes in the gooey pitch where the beetle has tried to get inside of that tree. It's kind of a syrup and it just runs down the tree and it forms these little pitch tubes, we call them.
So should we help prevent them from spreading?
It's usually if you have your own property, you probably want to keep trees that you have on your property in your yard healthy. And usually the best way is trees need water and there's only so much you can do about making sure that trees have enough water. They need water to survive and also to be able to have that defense mechanism.
Thank you, Rita, for talking to us today. We'll be right back on the Tahoe Kids Show.